I think one of the key takeaways that I would just want anyone to be able to get that's universal is the moment you think you know everything is the moment you are putting yourself at risk. You're creating blind spots on top of the blind spots that may already be there. So in that real time, be humble enough to be able to go, I don't know, even if you think that you do. It's the lack of questions that get people in trouble. So when you say, well, I assume that you understood that, don't assume in those situations because you really don't know what that other person's agenda is. And I think that kind of brings it back to something else I wanted to ask you about. And this was profound when you explained it to me was the difference between influence and persuasion,
Right.
because this is where it kind of starts to segue into, okay, well, now that you have the skill set, now that you know that you don't know, how do you start to apply it and say, okay, well, now that we're at a point where you don't want to answer any more of my questions, let me take all the information that I have and then start looking at how to be able to decipher, am I the skilled person or am I the powered person? So influence
Right.
and persuasion. Can you break that down for me a bit? Because there's
Sure.
a lot to it.
Right. So, in a nutshell, persuasion is the act of convincing someone,
Hmm.
meaning to move someone from one physical or intellectual or mental place, one place to another. Now, I can use that with a weapon, right?
Yeah.
I can persuade you to move by pull
Hmm.
out a weapon. I can persuade you to move by offering you something. I could persuade you to move with a list of benefits, or I could persuade you to win with a lot of possibilities of consequences that you don't want to face. So to persuade one has a lot of different iterations, but it is impossible to persuade someone without them being aware that that's what you're doing. So if I'm listing a bunch of benefits and therefore then saying you need to take this action because of all these benefits, or if I'm saying if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, these are the consequences that you're going to, and we see that on social media and on every commercial all day long. It is the soup du jour of the way the world works, right? This and you get this, you get this. I love the medical commercials, and that's 90% of what's on. They go, "Oh, yeah, this is so great." And you can go out and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as here's when you know what's really happening, go,
Yes. Yes.
because now I'm telling you what it's going to cost you to get all those benefits.
Yes.
And you notice the dancing person in the background now, or they don't even have them in the picture because the person say, "Wait a second, if I do this, I get this." But then they say, "But it's going to cost you." But that's small print. That is persuasion. Now, by contrast, influence comes from an ethereal it was thought to be an ethereal fluid that rained from the heavens. Influence is a word that came in the 1400 years ago. So influence is the ability to impact the thoughts, behaviors, or actions of a person, place, or thing without them being aware of it. So when you think about some people are persuaded, we clearly know by social media, every entrepreneur, every ad, are we running an ad that says, "Hey, we can solve this problem for you"? That's the biggest thing that you're hearing in sales today. What are your pain points? Your pain points. What are your pain points? Okay, well, now I know that you left out all the people that are sick of their pain points. Yeah, I want somebody to ask me, how much joy do you want to experience?
Yes.
See, if anybody listening out here went into any store or called up any place and the person said, "How much joy are you up for today?" Boom. That's because you didn't hear that question. How much joy? Now, it may be followed up by, "I wish I could have joy," but here, and then the person comes up and they'll tell you all their pain points.
Yes.
Right? So I just influenced you to give me insight without your having any idea that that's what I was looking for. Or you might have said, "Oh my God, I got lots of time for joy and what I'm looking for." And then they set out and tell you every benefit that they're looking for. And then all I need to say is, "I'm so happy you called because this and this and this and that benefit and this that is exactly what we provide. And when did you want to move forward?"
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the difference between knowing when and how to persuade
Mm.
and then being able to move between those in a very effective and efficient way, and also to understand, for instance, of course there are rules and rudiments in evolved as there are in any framework. The level one is where somebody will understand um a rule. Now, one of the rules, for instance, or let's take a close.
Mm.
We have a close that is called, what was the movie with Tom Hanks? It help me help
Show me the money. Yeah, yeah. Help me
you.
help
Okay.
you.
So out of that movie, I adapted a close, right? That's called the Jerry Maguire.
And that is the movie. Yes.
Now, the Jerry Maguire. So, the easiest, and everybody in your audience can use it. It is the most powerful close on earth, and it's easy to teach. It's right in the movie. Help me help you. So now the problem with that is that people learn that close and it becomes so successful for them that they keep using it over and over.
Right.
And number two, they never get beyond that iteration because that's level one. That all that is, that's easy. You want level one, there it is. And I said, Sean, help me help you.
Right.
Talk to me like I'm 4 years old. What do we need to get done here? That's a Jerry Maguire. All right. Now, on the other hand, what would happen if I called you at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning? What's the first thing that you would say to me? Just imagine you and me, and tomorrow morning or a week from now, your phone rings at 3 a.m. in the morning.
I'm gonna worry that is everything all right?
The
That's my
first
first
thing
thought.
coming out of your mouth, Derek, what's wrong?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's called influence.
There you go. There you go.
That's I didn't have to say anything. You know what I did? I called you at 3 a.m. Now I know very well that if your mom, your dad, your daughter, your wife, your loved one, or some me, if I called you up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, the first words out of your mouth, I go, "Hey, Derek, you having a good day?" You're not even asking me about the time zone. The first thing out of your mouth is, "What's wrong?" Why? Because I'm calling you in a different set of circumstances at a time that is outside of business and unexpected. So all the work, going back to the Coke, is already done for me. The body keeps the score. You know, when you get a call at 3 a.m., something bad has happened. Right? Something bad happened. So I can choose to use that. So there are a million iterations of a Jerry Maguire.
Mm.
Or I could turn around and I could say, I could call you, and I could, the next time I do, and I call you, and I say, like, how are you? And you'd say, yeah, I'm great, Derek. How are you? And my response is,
And I'm automatically gonna say, "Are you okay?" And start checking right from the start.
What
Right.
just happened? What just happened?
You influenced me
Hey,
without
hey,
saying
the
anything.
first thing come to your mind, wow, that's a Jerry Maguire, Derek. No, is the first thing come to your mind is, whoa, what a hell of a negotiation technique. No, no. So when you get to the level 3, 4, when you get to a platinum level, you have the ability to execute and use different iterations of any tactic or technique. That goes back to the kitchen when I'm talking about what
love
level
that.
are we at?
I love
Right?
that.
So I get so just by using the different elements that already exist, and in that one, the idea that, or for me, if I was on the phone with you, imagine you can't do it, and your audience can't do it, but imagine I got on the phone with you and I said, "Hi, Sean." What would you? I say, "Hey, hi, how are you, Sean?"
I'm good. I'm doing well. How about yourself? And that awkward pause.
Are you Derek? Are you there? Are you
Uh-huh.
there? Guess what? I mean 100% of the time, because you know I'm a talker, and if Derek shut up, what do you think? If I want attention, I don't walk in the room and go, "I'm Derek Chevalier and I'm here to talk." I walk into a room, I'll go into a corner and like sit down by myself. You get how 40 people walking over, go, "What's wrong?" Something happened. Or if I'm in a conversation, I don't say anything. What's wrong? What happened? Nobody's coming over and go, "Wow, are you so happy that you have nothing to say?"
Nobody's taking contentment from that.
Every bit of that are iterations of one tiny Jerry Maguire. Now, that's the difference. The difference is the ability to actually use influence, use persuasion, and take those rules or that we have and then be able to execute them in so many ways that the same person would not even know that they had been clothes using the same clothes 15 times. It would, and B, it would never occur to them that it was a tactic or a strategy or that it was done on purpose.